I had a homie just the other day feeling pretty relieved that the government has decided to partially fund SNAP benefits and felt a relief for several of her young children as she continues to go through school. Another buddy who needs the money because he's temporarily, divorced and looking for work and hoping to be on it for less than 6 months. But I got news that it could take weeks or months to partially fund, I guess, turn the spigot back on when it comes to SNAP benefits. And one of my buddies is literally, this is anecdotal, but he's literally that guy who's thinking about doing what he needs to do to ensure that he can get food benefits for the family. And that's talking about skipping bills and robbing Peter to pay Paul. But, my other friend, some folks are contemplating selling that ass or doing what they got to do to make different things happen. And that's the thing that kind of makes me draw pause, is that as we see here that folks are already lining up in Texas, where I'm at, hundreds of people lined up for food assistance in Central Texas high school on Saturday as the funding for SNAP benefits has run dry. Department of Agriculture has said hundreds of cars, people being directed. This is from a direct source. I didn't want to give you guys anything that didn't make a lot of sense, anything that was kind of, over the top. AI videos are rampant and people are worried about looting and stuff like that. But I myself do believe that the viability of people doing what they have to do to make different things happen is a thing. This is very confusing because I kind of thought this story was going to be in my rearview mirror. I saw the orders from the two different judges, one from Massachusetts, one from Rhode Island. Basically, the one from Rhode Island is saying, figure out a way to fund the SNAP program. If you can fully fund it, tell me a plan by yesterday, and everything needs to be funded by tomorrow, November 5th. And so I'm sitting here kind of like, all right, cool. Wife, Mrs. X, you're going to be good to go. The whole plan I had together when it came to not sending you to the grocery store, I think you're going to be good. We got some shit we need to pick up, and talking to my buddies about it. And then I kind of circle the wagon and I see this. Despite federal courts ordering his administration to use the USDA's contingency funds to pay SNAP, the president says that 42 million may not get the benefits. I guess it says SNAP benefits. This is from President Trump's Truth Social. It says SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up government, which they can do easily and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. This is very confusing for people who are on the ground trying to figure out planning. It's November 4th. Rent is now late in most people's lease agreements. Mortgages will be late in about 9 days or so for most people mortgage agreements. So if you're like thinking about, I got a chunk of money right now, I can pay my rent. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and pay it. I saw the court order. Now you go to pay it. You see this from the president who controls the government. You're not sure what to do. This is the type of thing that I could understand can cause chaos for some people. I was going to sit down and enjoy me a cigar, and then I saw this pop up. This is what makes me say I'm pumping the brakes in regards to the possibility or the ability for Mrs. X to go ahead and I guess do the shopping on her own for the benefits or for groceries or whatnot. This is from Reuters. U.S. to pay reduced food benefits, but warns weeks or months could delay it. Partial SNAP benefits can be paid. I guess the thing is that this story just came out yesterday. The President Trump administration said on Monday that it partially will fund it, but it could take some states several weeks or months, and they're kind of targeting Democratic-led states, and those states are starting to push back. And here's some things that I'm fearful of. It's just more and more rumblings on the internet about driving up the desire for civil unrest. Some people using the word civil war. I wouldn't go that far, but when you're pitting different components of people against one another, it can drive civil unrest. When you're making people have to make desperate decisions, it can make some things happen that we don't want to happen overall. I mean, we got long lines at airports because of air traffic controllers doing sick outs and TSA agents calling out sick as well. We have a lot of our national services, national parks and buildings are closed because of the shutdown. Hundreds of thousands of federal employees are furloughed, most not working. Those that are working, a lot of them are not being paid as accepted employees. Some of them are exempt and they are being paid. We have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of contractors who are not sure about their back pay. And then we have the SNAP benefit issues. I see the rumblings of a shit hits the fan moment for a lot of people. And it does remind me of the era after the Civil War, before the Industrial Revolution. It was kind of the bourgeoisie era when it was kind of like the 1870s to 1890s, where the elite felt like they had everything. It just felt like the elite had everything, and they did everything to keep people that were below them down. And that's the feeling that it feels like right now. And before the 1900s and 1910s and 20s, when everything kind of turned around, Industrial Revolution all led up to the Great Depression. That's the era we feels like right now. It feels like that if you are higher middle class, if you're middle class, like you might be okay right now if you have a savings account, if you have a good 401k, if you got whatever. You hear about all this stuff, but you can make decisions like, I'm not going to travel, or what the heck is a SNAP benefit, or, you know, I'm not too concerned about going to parks. I can just go next year, or I have a vacation plan. We got all that going on. And then at the same time, we have other things going on with the military, which I'll talk about in another video. We got things going on with the weather that can be a situation you need to prepare for as well. And it just all makes me believe that you need to laser focus on your prep in every aspect of your life. Everything from food security all the way from making sure that your stuff is secure at the house. These benefits and this confusion that's going on, I feel bad for those that are really trying to do family planning. You're really trying to figure out what's to pay next. I hope that we can get our ducks in a row for the stuff that's supposed to be coming, because this can be extremely stressful for most. If you decide to loot and all that other stuff, I hope that you run into somebody that's a big Second Amendment person and it's legal for them to confront you and they get that ass. Because as much as you may be going through some stuff, listen, robbing business owners who are trying to do their thing, people boarding up their stuff, and you decide to kick the door in, that's not the solution. If you think it's the solution, then hopefully you're met with some force that you were not expecting to have. That's a quick update on this situation. Hopefully you're still doing your prep stuff. You're not thinking about doing too much. You're not forecasting. You don't have a big ass Kroger delivery truck, a Tom Thumb delivery truck, a Publix delivery truck coming to your house. Just go do the stuff for yourself if you can. Be the man of the house if that's what you are. Ladies, if you don't have a man in the house, I'm not being sexist, you can go do it too. All right. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.